Welcome to the Sharks and Teej show, where we'll be talking all things NFL and America. That's Sharks,
Howdy, howdy.
and I'm Teej. Sharks, how we doing?
Good, good, man. I'm excited. What?
Yeah, lots of exciting stuff happened in the sports world last week. Caitlin Clark fell to undefeated South Carolina. Men's national championship going on right now. Shohei is batting 340 through 12, 13 games. In my NBA, the Orlando Magic have slid into third. Are Orlando Magic?
Mm, Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic.
Oh, they have slid into third. It'll be tight though. It's very tight in the West. Minnesota and Denver are tied for the top with OKC just a game behind. Hockey only has 4 or 5 games left. Uh, my Avs are looking real good, so we're happy about that. The Detroit Red Wings might make the playoffs for the first time in 100 years. Um,
Lot going on.
but let's get into our NFL and America. A team you already had very high hopes for in terms of regular season and playoff success. You're very high on the Houston Texans. And the biggest news this week was definitely Stephon Diggs being traded from Buffalo to
Disgusting.
go there. Um, in his time in Buffalo, his 4 seasons, Diggs averaged 1,340 yards a season, almost 10 touchdowns a season. He's being added to a great receiver room in Houston. Tank Dell had 700 yards in 10 games last year as a rookie, so he was probably getting 1,000. Nico Collins had over 1,000 in the regular season and 7 touchdowns. Is this the best wide receiver room? And how good are the Houston Texans?
Um, Easily best wide receiver room, like without a doubt. They literally are going to be the best offense in the league. I don't see how anyone's going to stop them. They had some real trouble against the Ravens last year scoring, but I don't know, man. Stephon is just an entirely new addition on the field. That's crazy. That's going to open up so much for them. It's too much. Way too much for them. They're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to the Super Bowl. And they
Yeah,
just got Danielle Hunter. So, I mean, already. I mean, last year they already had the ranked number 2 and number 3 defensive line for run. They were number 2, and then pass, they were number 3. They're already disgusting. I mean, are you kidding me? And then they had Derek Stingley. I know he got. I mean, I know there were a couple times where people didn't really like him, but he was really solid. Laramie Tunsil. Uh, Come on, Laramie Tunsil. Are you kidding me? I don't think he made the Pro Bowl this year
yeah.
though, which is
I
kind of
mean,
wild. But
yeah,
he's
this
good.
roster is absolutely stacked. Diggs, I mean, he these past 8 or 9 years, he hasn't been the fastest receiver. He's never been the biggest. Still, for so long, like I said, 8 or 9 years, he's been one of the best top three, top five receivers playing. Even though he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest. He just gets it done. He puts in work. Clearly, he runs the routes. He's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they already had amazing receivers and maybe the best rookie quarterback ever in terms of a rookie quarterback season.
CJ
Stroud and
Stroud went off, man. He did so well. No one expected him to just come in and just start breaking records and just start like just commanding that team. He flipped them upside down completely. They're a whole new team now. They're a whole new team now.
yeah, and obviously playing in the AFC, your aim's going to be to get past Mahomes. I mean, that's basically winning the Super Bowl is getting past Mahomes, right?
Yep.
So they're I think they're trying to do that, like you said, with the addition of Daniil Hunter on the edge. They added, we said this last week too, but Aziz Al-Shaair playing middle linebacker. I think one of the few times Pat Mahomes has lost was to the Bucks in the Super Bowl, and they had an amazing front seven. Jason Pierre-Paul had one of his best years ever as an old
Hmm.
man. They had their two inside linebackers, Devin White and Levante David. So
Yeah.
I think you gotta try to control Mahomes. It's the only way you're making it out of the AFC. It looks like they're trying to keep up on offense and defense. So we'll see if it works out.
Yeah. I In terms of their offense, though, no one's going to be able to hold them back. I don't think there's going to be anyone that's going to be able to hold them back. And
I mean,
the
yeah,
the one team
like
that did were the Ravens, and I mean, they just lost Patrick Queen and Jadeveon Clowney, massive pieces. So that's like another team in the AFC that they're probably not going to have as much, trouble with. But you're right, winning in the AFC is just beating the Chiefs. So
yeah,
that's going to be their biggest hurdle, and they might be able to do it now. They might be able to. I mean,
yeah.
they
And then
don't.
that game against
Chiefs don't
the
have Snead
Ravens, they were
anymore.
missing Tank.
The Chiefs
So
don't have Snead anymore. So,
the Chiefs don't have Snead. Yeah, we'll
and I
talk
mean,
about that again in a little bit, but that's huge.
mm,
That is absolutely huge. But yeah, they were missing Tank Dell last year, so Nico Collins was their only good receiver in the playoffs. And nobody thought he was anything coming into the year. And he's a stud. So is Tank. Now you
yeah,
got Diggs.
it's too much, man. It's too much. Where do you think he's gonna line up, man? You think Stephon's gonna be in the slot, bro? You think they have
No, I feel like
Nico out?
Tank. I think Tank is so quick that you got to put him there.
Yeah,
And then that's creating, like I was saying about Stephon earlier, about he's just like been probably the best route runner these past 8 years, which is nuts. So you're just giving him room on the outside to do whatever he wants. So yeah,
yeah.
it'll be disgusting. But the team that lost Diggs, the Buffalo Bills, what's going on with them? Diggs was traded. They released Jordan Poyer, one of the best safeties playing. Mitch Morse, one of the best centers playing. Tre'Davious White, before he was hurt, is consistently one of the best corners. He's just not available. But other than that, he's great. Gabe Davis walks, joins the center Mitch Morse in Jacksonville. Leonard Floyd walks. Uh, they lost a lot in Buffalo. What's going on there?
Um, they're so with Diggs to start at least. I know most of the Bills fans are like they're like not happy about losing, one of no, like probably their best player on their team, but at the same time a lot of them are happy because, he just complained and a lot of people at Buffalo just did not like Stephon and his demeanor and just how he was in the locker room and on the field. And
Yeah,
I mean,
the
there's
tweets.
so much about him and Josh Allen arguing and their whole coach and staff and all this stuff. It seemed like he wanted to leave and it seemed like they wanted him gone. So it just I'm not sure how the fans really feel, but I know the Bills and Stephon are happy at least. But they sent chump change for him. They sent nothing for him, which is wild to
Yeah,
me.
getting a second round pick from the Texans next year, basically a third round pick, because it's going to be one of the last 3, 4 picks of the second round because they're going to be so good.
Hmm.
So, yeah, you definitely would have liked to get more for him. And on your point on the beef with Buffalo, yeah, I thought it had been strange. It was slightly blown out of proportion, in my opinion. There was, slight little tweets here and there, but some of them were like, it wasn't like he was attacking Josh Allen. It was like some random on social media would be like, Josh Allen doesn't need Stephon Diggs. And Stephon Diggs would be like, hey, I'm pretty fucking good, pal. And then get blown up and be like, oh, look what Diggs said. It's like, all he said was he's a good fucking receiver. Like, and on the field stuff, you would be worried about. There are times where he's arguing with his quarterback and the coaching staff, but there has been times where they have not gotten him the ball enough for as good of a
Yeah.
receiver as he is.
Hmm.
So I think it was slightly blown out of proportion, and I think, like I said, he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, but he's been one of the best receivers, one of the best players in the NFL the past 8, 9 years. It's such a hard thing to do to keep that up. So he's got to be a hard worker. He's got to have all the right stuff, in my opinion.
Hmm.
We'll see, I guess. I'm sure we'll get more of the story as time goes on.
Yeah.
we'll see. But I think that something went wrong in Buffalo. I think that the coaching or the ownership is doing something that they shouldn't have to. Such a good team falls apart overnight. Not overnight, over a couple nights. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to trust Diggs and think that something fishy was going on there.
Yeah. And they have a big hole to fill now. And I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they're not going to be able to fill the role that he played for them in the draft. So they have to like trade for someone. They have to hit a free agent up. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure what the Bills analysts or the Bills, people are saying, but I feel like how could they not try to trade for someone like, I don't know, maybe Brandon Ayuk or T Higgins, someone that's available, free agent.
Somebody.
Pretty sure Brandon Ayuk
Yeah.
is available right now.
He's
And
not a free agent. But there was trade rumors. The 49ers did deny them. We'll see how that plays
but
out.
I thought he was saying that he wanted to be traded, and like that to the allegations he said that he was like okay with it, or I saw something along the lines of that. I could be wrong though. But
They did sign two receivers in Buffalo, but not big names at
yeah,
all.
but
Curtis Samuel from
yeah.
Washington and Matt Collins from Atlanta. So those are definitely par receivers in the NFL. Curtis Samuel's had some good games. But I will say those two guys have definitely both always played with subpar quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Um,
But
so
Curtis
maybe
is there
Curtis
to
Samuel be
replace Gabe.
something, but yeah, he could be something. Will he be a Stephon Diggs? Probably not. Probably
Mm-mm.
not. No, you're right. They need to make a move. And Mahomes did win a championship last year with his best receiver being
Tight end.
who?
Travis
Well, a
Kelsey.
tight end for sure, but besides him, uh, who was the best receiver was Marquez Valdez Scantling? Like,
Rasheed
who was
Rice.
it? Rasheed Rice is like half a running back. Yeah, so he
And
almost had no
and
receivers.
he Rasheed Rice, I mean, he's good, but like he's such a system receiver. Like the all the things
Yeah, he's
he's
playing
good
with
at
Mahomes.
are just yeah, no, it's Mahomes, but
Yeah.
it's not, it's Andy Reid, bro. He's
Yeah, and
such a
that probably
system
only
receiver and they utilize him like very well just to his strong suits. So,
even Brady always had a dude. Brady always had Edelman and Gronk at least,
mhm.
or Randy Moss and Gronk,
I
or
was just gonna say Moss. Those are
yeah, he had some
times.
dudes.
Different times,
Pat
bro.
did it without. I mean, but the Bills and Josh Allen are not the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes. So if you're anybody
Yeah.
except Pat Mahomes, you probably need a very, very good, a couple good weapons on the outside. The best quarterback playing in terms of quarterback abilities behind Mahomes might be C.J. Stroud. It really might, and they went and got him the best receiver room playing. So
Yeah. No, yeah.
you
I
need the
and I
weapons.
wouldn't I honestly now it's crazy now that like the season's over. You can actually legitimately say something like that and I it's probably true. Like you're probably not wrong like at all.
Yeah,
CJ
in
Stroud
terms of
might
throwing
be
the
the
ball,
second
he's
best behind
probably
Mahomes. He might be.
yeah,
Like seriously. So
probably.
that's
It's
it's
nuts.
just wild,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
that's nuts. In terms of they kept the Bills, they kept Taron Johnson, who's a decent corner.
yeah.
Deion Dawkins has been a really good left tackle for him. Got a 3-year, $66 million extension. And they signed Lyle Collins, a decent right tackle from Cincinnati. So they stole an in-conference playoff contender, offensive lineman. But yeah, nobody to throw it to quite yet.
Taron
They're protecting Josh, but he's got to throw it to somebody.
Taron Johnson's isn't he the highest paid corner now in the league?
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is, yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, he's decent, bud. He's a decent player. A hybrid type corner. NFL's turning very hybridy. But let's take it in the AFC East here, and maybe at the end we'll say who we think's gonna win it. But the AFC East has been a very exciting and intriguing division these past couple of years. was since Brady left, really, because I think because Brady dominated and Belichick dominated that division for 20 years, I think that's what made it exciting. Was finally he's gone. Now what's going to happen? Is Bill Belichick going to be good? Well, no, he's not. Sorry, Belichick.
Yeah.
But no, that did not work out. So now we have a new era in New England. Josh Allen is probably Mahomes' biggest rival, and say what you will, everybody knows he's exciting to watch. Aaron Rodgers, controversial, one of the best throwers of the ball of all time, went to big city, and the New York Dolphins were the fastest show on turf with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. AFC
Yeah.
East is just sick. Where do you want to go first, brother?
Um, I don't have a lot on the Patriots. We could just start with them.
You want to start with the Pats?
Yeah.
All right, so post Belichick era starting right now. That's what we get to cover. We cover in our sports
Sucks.
media career 0 Belichick. Hopefully,
It's weird.
in the Pats case, it'll be 30 years of Gerard Mayo. We'll see what happens. They have the 3rd pick in the draft, the most cap space available. They hired Gerard Mayo, who was a captain at middle linebacker for the Patriots for 7 years. He won the championship there. Just one. I thought that was funny. The Pats won like 3 so close together and then had a 10-year gap where they didn't win any. And then won 3 in like 6 years again. So he was on one of those first. He was on the first one of those new 3 in 2015. Anyway, yeah, that is fucking nuts. They got some money. They have the 3rd pick. They haven't always made the best picks. They just re-signed Kyle Duggar, who they drafted in the middle of the first round 3 or 4 years ago. I want to say 4 years ago. Has been a great nickel for them. Great safety, big nickel, who was from D2. So that was like a classic Bill Belichick pick, picking a D2 guy in round 1. But anyway, 3 years ago they picked Mac Jones with the 15th pick. That's no good. They got the 3rd pick. What are they doing? I mean, 15, just 3 years ago, Mac Jones' pick. It feels like ages, right?
Yeah, no, dude. Oh, Mac.
Poor guy, right?
Yeah, Jesus. Well, 3rd pick. I mean, so they're probably
It's not going to be Caleb.
no. It's not going to be Jaden Daniels either because I think Jaden Daniels is going 2nd. It's probably going to be
Ooh.
JJ or Pat.
I mean, they need a quarterback, right? They have to.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they
And
have
we're
no one. In
Are
general.
you so we talked about last episode how we were so high on JJ McCarthy and how I wasn't before
Yeah.
we started all our real scouting. And then I came in and then I fell in love with him. Would you take him 3rd overall over Marvin Harrison Jr., player like that?
I mean, even if they take Marvin Harrison, what are they? Who's throwing him the ball? I mean, that would be like obviously like best player off the board. Yeah, Marvin Harrison. Like it would go. If we're talking best players, it would go Marvin Harrison, then Caleb, I think. But they need a quarterback, and I think the Cards are getting Marvin Harrison, but we'll talk about the Cards
I think
later.
that if this is one of those years where some old quarterbacks were walking around, and you could have brought one in, maybe do that and draft Marvin. But if I'm the Patriots GM, yeah, you pretty much have to draft a quarterback. I do love JJ, but taking him at 3, ooh, I think I would if I was the Pats. Like you said, it's just been dry for years and years now. You need a leader. You need a QB back there. JJ won a natty, so he's got a lot of that good stuff. So I think they should take JJ.
I think they should, and I think he would like do really well with them. I don't think they would, because they still have Ramondre. They're still a very run-heavy team. I'm not sure who he's throwing the ball to anymore. Devontae
Oh yeah, they got no good receivers. They
Devontae
they
Parker.
re-signed Kendrick Bourne. They
Kendrick
re-signed
Bourne.
yeah, KJ Osborne. Yeah.
Oh, they signed KJ Osborne. I mean, that's a some kind of a step, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's a wide receiver too. Three,
Yeah.
not even two or three. I don't know. I mean, the Patriots are quite literally gonna be. They're taking the Panthers' spot next year. They're gonna be the worst team. There's no way
They
they're not
should
gonna be the
be.
worst team.
Their defense was not horrible last year by any means. They're actually really good at some points, but yeah, that offense has to get going. And at the third pick, you're taking the third quarterback, even if that's your number two guy, because Williams should be everybody's number one guy. Even if it is your number two guy, you don't expect a rookie to ever have a CJ Stroud season in year one.
No.
It's never what we expect. Well, some people do these days, but it shouldn't be. It will definitely be expected of Williams at one.
I was just about to
But
say.
yeah,
It's gonna.
we'll definitely
I expect
yeah
it from Caleb.
yeah we'll see. But the
No,
Patriots
I'm kidding.
money available, so maybe with their pick they hold on to some of that money, and their
Yeah.
great new quarterback brings in some people, and by next year they look like a great team, bringing in a bunch of free agents, and watch out for the Pats. But yeah, probably won't be anything this year. Now on to the good teams. Where do you want to go? Jets or Fins?
We'll go. We'll go Finns.
Finsies.
Tua turn it over.
Tua, turn it over. So the Fins ended last year in Kansas City. Got beat by the Chiefs there. It was the coldest game in Dolphins history, so that's not good. They had a lot of guys out, like I said. Waddle and Raheem Mostert pretty much forced themselves to play. They were definitely not fully healthy. They were missing six starters on defense: Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Jerome Baker, Holland, Xavier Howard, and Andrew Van Ginkel for that last game. If they keep all those guys healthy, um, Tua needs to not turn the ball over. I'll let you get into that. But how good are
Oh
they
no.
with Tua right now?
Um. So I mean, right now, obviously, we're not gonna like pretend like they didn't just have were like the number one team in yards per game. Tua was number one in yards or passing yards. Tyreek was number one in receiving yards. We're not gonna like pretend that didn't happen, but they they lost a couple key players on their defense. And these players, some of these players were also missing in that last game against the Chiefs. But they really have some holes to fill. So like, I don't know. Their offense is gonna be good. They have to be good. There's no way that Tua in this offseason is not practicing on not fumbling the ball. He had 13 fumbles last year. The next closest person that in fumbles was Josh Dobbs with 7, which is almost half the amount of Tua. So Tua needs to practice holding on to the fucking ball. Then like 13 fumbles, that is so many drives. That's just a long bomb to Tyreek or just, a nice fucking Mostert up the middle. Like B gap just gone. There's so much Mike McDaniels can do with that offense and all those guys. So like that's so many opportunities just gone because of something as simple as, ball security. So I think he needs to work on that because it's very, very big. And they got to replace their very, very big holes on defense.
And a lot of interceptions for him last year, he said.
He had a good amount of interceptions too. I can't say for sure yet if they'll be good or not. But if they can fill those holes, whether it be in free agency or throughout the draft, Yes, but right now I don't know. They got a lot to prove right now.
Yeah, you got to play defense to beat Mahomes. At least do your best against them. And if they want to beat him, they definitely. If they want to beat anybody in the AFC, you think about all the teams that could be good. Really, our classic Kansas City, obviously, Buffalo, Cincinnati, New York. All those places are going to be cold as shit in January, bud.
Mm.
So if you can't play in the cold, you got to get the best record. And yeah, have the advantage. Make people come to play in Miami where it's humid. It won't be too hot, but you'll have the home advantage. That's the whole deal with home advantage. So
I mean,
they're in trouble in the cold.
yeah, and they did pick up Jordan Poyer, which is really big.
Revenge for Jordan Poyer too. They'll
Yeah,
have 2 games at least
yeah,
against the Bills this year.
yeah. I
It's a
will. I
nice.
will say. I will say they did get Jordan Poyer, but they need someone to fill Van Ginkel's role, Wilkins' role,
Yeah,
Xavier Howard's role. So
yeah.
you know,
Wilkins is a big hole to fill. Um, we'll see if they can. Yeah, you need an edge rusher. Chubb is okay, but he's always hurt too, and he's getting hurt, and his body's wearing down year after year. So, yeah, you need to shore that up.
they could get
We'll
Chop
see what happens.
Robinson maybe.
Yeah, you need somebody there. You probably need a mic too, to play Mahomes. Like I said, I think you need to shore up that front seven. Give him
Junior
all the
Colson.
fake
That's the guy.
stunts. Yeah, something. Get some guy like that to try your best against Mahomes anyway. But last team in that AFC East, Mike Will made it
Mm,
to the New York Jets. He should be healthy week 1.
hopefully,
You know I
Jesus.
love a big receiver slot receiver combo, and that's I think going to be a real exciting one with Mike Will and Garrett Wilson. Uh, A Rod coming back, 2 of the best the defenders in the league. Well, one of the best defenses in the league, headed up by 2 of the best defenders, and Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. Sauce is just 23 years old still. Kind of forget that. It's just
Mhm.
Quinnen is just 26 years old. So 2 of the best players playing. They'll be on the Jets for a long time, I think. The defense is headed by C.J. Mosley, great leader in that front seven, playing middle
Yep.
linebacker. Just got paid 2 years, 7.25 mil. Great for CJ. Jets are good, man. Especially, obviously. No Aaron Rodgers, not good. Aaron Rodgers, very good. Yes?
Um, they still got a lot of proof, but I mean, it's the same with them. They should be good with yes, they should yes with Aaron, but we have seen Aaron take like 3 snaps with them, and I'm not like a hater on Aaron or anything. It just hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean? Like Tom
For
Brady,
sure.
you know, uh, did he win his first year or was it second year with the Bucks?
I think he won a second year.
I don't think. Yeah, it's kind of like that. In my mind, Aaron Rodgers is kind of a very high caliber quarterback. Yes, but the whole system has to work. But Mike Williams and Garrett Wilson, he's probably gonna have a field day. Like I have to see it first, but like he probably is gonna have a field day. I mean,
Wilson is fucking good, man. You got
yeah.
to give him a quarterback. I'm waiting for him to
hmm
get one, and
And
we'll see what.
he's finally getting what he deserves. Garrett Wilson is finally he's getting another receiver too, and I mean he's gonna love that because that's just gonna create more space for him, and in a way, a quarterback just can't throw to one, you know, receiver the whole time. He has to have a buddy. All great wide receivers need to have at least someone else on the team that can create space as well and also get coverage onto him and draw coverage to him to get you open. So he needs Mike Williams is going to be awesome pairing with him. It's going to be awesome. I think
Yeah,
they're
I'd
going to be
say
good.
definitely most Super Bowl winners have 2 pretty damn good receivers. Obviously,
Mhm.
Chiefs last year. Or the past 2 years have been the exception in terms of receiver. Uh, but yeah, they are stacked. Looking at it on paper, like you said, though, we'll have to see what Aaron Rodgers can actually put out there on the field. But I think they are kind of used to him. He was getting his culture in there, and they were on Hard Knocks, so they really accepted Aaron Rodgers, and it looks like they were having a good time when he was there. But he is old, and last year sucked, so people probably aren't happy about that. So there's probably a couple clocks going to on Aaron Rodgers' career and how long everyone can go with not winning. So
Yeah.
we'll see there. But yeah, on paper, like I said, I think you need that front seven to beat Mahomes. C.J. Mosley is one of the best leaders on defense in the NFL. Quinnen Williams is one of the best D tackles easily. Should just
So
get
good.
better every year. So they got good edge rushers, young guys. Will McDonald started looking good at the end of last year. Who's our
Yeah.
boy from Florida State? God damn it.
Oh.
He started looking good too. He got drafted 2 years ago by the Jets. That's my bad. I should have
Oh.
looked it up. But he's been playing good too. He was number 0 when he played for Florida State. Big
Oh.
light skinned D end.
No. No, you put me
Big
on the
light skinned D
spot.
end. My bad, brother.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
That's good. Will McDonald started doing good at the end of the year. I wasn't keeping up with him. Jermaine Johnson.
Yes, Jermaine Johnson. That's a great name. How could I forget that? Yeah, Jermaine Johnson started
Second.
playing good at the end of Jermaine Johnson the second started playing good. So yeah, I think their front seven's getting there. Sauce could be the best corner playing. I think last year a lot of other names came into that mix with Jalen Johnson and Pat Surtain. But he's Sauce, man. He's long, he's athletic, he's a playmaker. And that defense was on the field so much last year for obvious reasons. So I think you get him off the field a little bit more, he might be the best corner in the NFL again. Even
Yeah.
to breathe there. So who do you got winning this AFC East?
Um. It's definitely easily between the Jets and the Dolphins. Like easily between the Jets and Dolphins. I think the Bills are out of it. Patriots, don't get me started. Um, no point of even saying anything. I it's probably still going to be the Dolphins. Like they were way too good last year to just suddenly not win it this year. You know what I mean? Or at least do good.
Yeah,
It's the Dolphins. I got a
I
lot
really
given
like
for the Dolphins, but the
what you
Jets.
they did lose some defense and you got to play defense and for that reason I'm gonna strongly suggest the New York Jets because on paper defense is too good. Aaron fucking Rodgers coming back with Mike Will and Garrett Wilson. They've got good running backs. They've got a decent O line. So yeah, they're a very stacked roster with playmakers and Aaron Rodgers, playmakers on offense and defense. So
Yeah,
I'm taking them easily because
yeah.
I really like what you said about Miami. Tua's going to give that ball up probably. We root for everybody's success and hope he changes that around, but he'll probably give that ball up, and that defense won't be there to back him up every time. Xavier
No.
Howard's been one of the best corners the past couple of years, and he got hurt 1 year for the Dolphins, and they let him walk. So
Yeah, it's a
we'll
good
see.
point.
I think the Jets are definitely going to take that division,
Yeah.
barring injury, of course.
If they can stay healthy. If Mike Williams can stay healthy,
Yeah,
he's injury ridden.
yeah, that is true. But we'll take that into. You wanted to revise your best teams from last week. One of them may be those New York Jets.
So, yeah. Honestly, Texans Texans and maybe the Browns AFC Championship, or I don't want the Chiefs in there, man. The Chiefs
You don't want them there, but will they be there?
for for some reason the football gods aren't gonna let a three-peat happen. You know what I mean? They're just not gonna let it happen. And if Patrick Mahomes gets to the Super Bowl, he's gonna fucking win it, dude. It's not even funny.
Ah, I completely agree with you. I was making that stupid face to fuck you. I think that
He's gonna.
three-peating is nearly impossible. We're just, looking at the probability point of it. It's so hard to do. So yeah, I'm gonna go Jets Texans AFC Championship.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna go Jets Texans.
NFC. I gotta put the Bears in there. I don't care what anyone says. I'm putting the Bears in there.
Don't care what I say.
Anyone. I don't. Anyone. You. Anyone. I don't care. I don't
A
care.
rookie quarterback and brand new
I
team.
don't care. I don't.
Everything we just
they
said
have
about a
so
rookie
much,
quarterback
dude.
coming into New England
They have
and
so
and
much.
that well, I guess that was just me. But what you just said about Aaron Rodgers and coming to a new team and how hard that is. Williams is coming to a whole nother league. I mean, it's almost a whole new team, new receivers, new running back, new D line.
Yes, but they ranked last year fourth and seventh in offensive line. They're Jalen Johnson, Montez Sweat. I you're right. Quinnen Williams and Sauce are very good. I don't think they have the coach. Robert Sala is really good coach, but I don't I just don't seem like just how they handled and treated Aaron Rodgers and then not Aaron Rodgers, sorry. Um
Zach
Zach
Wilson.
Wilson. I just felt it just made me question their whole organization. Like what are they doing? They just didn't seem like they had any idea what to do. And
Well, he
it's
did.
hard. It's hard, but I just hearing Robert Sala on it was some Jets radio, and he was just talking, and he was just like, man, I gotta ask you about, Zach Wilson, and he was just like, look, man, he's gonna be like our quarterback, and you know, it doesn't really matter, and just like he was just basically saying that Zach needs to just not worry about anything and just worry about football, and it was just weird to me. I just questioned the Jets staff a lot. It's a good point, but I don't know. To me, I think the Bears will be better, but it is kind of the same exact situation going on. They got two really good wide receivers now, and they have, I mean, basically their quarterback's first year with that team. Not really
Right.
not trying to compare Caleb to Aaron Rodgers in any way, shape, or form. Just like it's basically his first year. Like he played 3 snaps last year. He didn't play. It's his first year as a Jet, actually. So it's just a whole new, it'll be a whole new thing for both teams. So I can see that. I can see that point. So
It will
just
be.
by logic, I should really root for
I
the
just don't
Jets.
expect the young kid to. I don't expect the Bears to make the playoffs, brother. That's such high expectations. It's still the NFL, man.
Yes.
It's still some good teams and a good division, like we talked about last week. I mean, Lions and Packers.
Hmm.
I probably got the Packers to get into the NFC Championship. They're good, man. Good and
Yeah, the
young.
Pack. Oh man,
Love is slinging it. Two good
I
young
do forget
receivers.
about the Pack. I'm not gonna lie.
Jair Alexander. Some other good corner.
It's just so hard, man. It's so hard.
It is. There's a lot of good teams. But final answer, NFC Championship. Who are the two teams playing?
Fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. Bears.
I thought you were Bears and
Cowboys.
whoa, 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 whoa. The no move Cowboys. Okay, I'm going to take in the NFC. I'm going to take the Packers beating the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay. I'm not. Hey, fuck the 49ers, dude. Sorry.
Okay, so a team that we both left out there that is always one of the best teams,
Yeah, Eagles.
the Chiefs.
Oh, Jesus. Chiefs. Fuck the
Because we just
Chiefs.
don't,
I thought we were talking
we don't
NFC.
just,
I thought we were talking NFC.
no, you're good, brother. I was just talking, best teams, and then we went from who's in the AFC champ to who's in the NFC
I
champ.
hate
But now
the
we're just back
Chiefs.
to best teams. And we both left out the Chiefs because we said there's no way they three-peat. But are they one of the best teams? Obviously, they have Pat Mahomes. Um, they did lose L'Jarius Sneed, which we both did not like. They did add Hollywood Brown. He has won a 1,000-yard season with Baltimore back in 2021. I don't know if I said that last time. He should get in a 1,000-yard season this year. Very quick Tyreek Hill type of receiver going to play there with Mahomes and Kelsey taking up the space in the inside. Um, so what do they need if they do want to three-peat here? I said probably a corner, and I'll go over who they could sign that's still available there in a second. But what do the Chiefs need to do to win that championship again?
Just rinse and repeat. Just rinse and repeat. They know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to get to a Super Bowl. They know. They know, and they've done it multiple times, and it's gonna be way too easy for them. They have a young team. They have a very young team, and I don't see what is going to slow them down. The only thing that's going to slow them down is literally themselves. So the only way they're going to three-peat is they just have to do exactly what they did the last year and the year before that. They need to just come out every weekend and just play how they play. I don't know, man. It's just not going to happen, though. There's no way. It's not going to happen. 3 years in a row. Come on, get real.
Yeah,
I,
probably. And
I can't. No way.
I just in the playoffs, you got to play D man. And Snead made so many plays last year and covered so many good receivers throughout the playoffs. So they need a corner, in my opinion. You can go get Xavier Howard for a revenge game against Miami. Stephon Gilmore was unrestricted. These guys are all unrestricted. Xavier Howard, Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, and Adoree Jackson, formerly of the New York Giants. Pretty good corner. So there's some guys out there at corner you can go give some money to.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs, I did write down, have the ninth most cap space available still. So they can go make that move. I think
Fuck that,
that
dude.
if they go get a Howard or a Gilmore, then it's going to be all news about how the Chiefs are winning 3 in a row.
And I mean, they can get a really good wide receiver too, which is in the draft, which is so it bothers me, man. It
You'd
bothers me.
expect them to do. They signed Hollywood to just a 1 year deal, and he is young, but 1 year deal. I don't know if he's your franchise guy. You'd expect to get that pairing for Mahomes. Uh, Everybody knows they did not have a good receiver last year. Still won it, but
I think if AD Mitchell's still available, they'll take him, but
yeah.
I don't. They're just gonna go for a receiver. I think they could go for Xavier
Yeah.
Leggett or
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, I think they need one. It'll be interesting. Draft day is getting closer and closer, brother.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
It's gonna be fun. Um, but the loss of Hollywood Brown, the Arizona Cardinals have been a trash fire after making the playoffs just 2, 3 years ago. Since then, they've been dog water with a couple Kyler Murray injuries and being distracted by the Call of Duties, as we all know. Um, the Cardinals have the fourth pick in the NFL draft this year, three teams who will probably get a quarterback. Kyler, like I said, has been hurt. He was hurt um, last year until the last 8 games. Cardinals went 3-5. He played okay in that stretch. They've played decent players to come play on defense. Justin Jones, big D tackle from Chicago, and Sean Murphy Bunting, good corner from Tennessee. Nothing crazy. What do the Cardinals need to do here to get back to Kyler looking awesome and making the playoffs?
They need to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. That's what they need to do. I don't really, in terms of anything else, I don't think anything else matters right now. I think that's all that they should focus on is that the fact that Washington's going to get a quarterback, the Patriots are going to get a quarterback, and they're going to be able to get Marvin Harrison Jr. That he's going to flip the whole offense around. He's the guy now. I mean, they have a massive hole to fill now. Now that Hollywood Brown's gone, he was their quick, route guy, just good best, their number one receiver. They need someone to replace him. And so Marvin Harrison Jr. is basically, I mean, he looked like a pro playing amongst high schoolers. Like, that's what watching his tape is like. It's like watching him play against, like, high schoolers. He was already
in college he looked
level.
like bigger Justin Jefferson. We'll see if he keeps that up. But that's what he looks like so far, which is absolutely nuts to say.
Yeah, bigger
Yeah.
JJ.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I mean,
we hope he keeps it up, and yeah, the Cardinals should get him. If you want Kyler to succeed, if you don't want Kyler to succeed, if you want to put him on the hot seat and see if he's one of the best quarterbacks and can carry your franchise, then I think they should trade out of it. It's one of the bad teams. Do what Chicago did to the Panthers last year to somebody else, and try to get a high pick net. If you do want Kyler to succeed, if you fully believe in him, if you're going in on Kyler in this year, then yes, get him one of the best receivers to ever come through the draft, obviously. But I think if they do trade out, I think it's a sign that they're putting Murray on the hot seat. They should get Marvin Harrison, help him out, but
yeah,
we'll see. He hasn't been playing great and has been injured, so.
I mean, yeah.
So. Staying on the topic of Hollywood Brown, but not at all. I just said that for a clean transition. The Browns, the Cleveland Browns. They had they had some decent additions. They made the wild card last year with Joe Flacco coming in as the backup quarterback. Jordan Hicks has been a great middle linebacker for the Vikings the past couple of years. Cleveland got him. They got Jerry Jeudy from a trade in Denver, who diehard Denver Broncos fan was super high on Jeudy. I was in love with him coming in the draft. So happy we got him. I'm disappointed in what it turned into. I'm wishing him the best over there in Cleveland. How good are the Browns going to be? But you already answered that because we both said they're going to the AFC Championship game. The Browns are going to be good. Browns are going to be damn good. I think it's all going to be on how far Deshaun takes them. You got Jeudy as just the second receiver. Amari Cooper's still a god. And Njoku's a beast. Nick Chubb had a clean snap. Should be coming back healthy. Myles Garrett, one of the best playing. They already had a great middle linebacker in Anthony. Now they get another one in Jordan Hicks. Denzel Ward's a good corner. They're a very, very good team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll beat Baltimore for their division. What do you think? They beat Baltimore in the regular season?
Yeah. I think they're gonna wipe everyone. They're literally they're just as good as the Texans in my opinion. Like, they are so good on both sides of the ball, and their defense is so good. Their defense is so good. And Myles Garrett was Myles Garrett. He's probably your number one defensive player I think we'll get into that later, but
Oh, he's an absolute alien of yeah.
like, come on, dude. They're way too good. Jordan Hicks is such a good pickup, dude. Oh my god, like they
Yeah.
were already such a
And
good
then he had
defense.
good
That's a
backers. Yeah.
great addition. Also, they won. Stefanski won Coach of the Year, and then the
Yeah.
assistant coach got assistant head coach of the year. They won both the coaching awards of the year. That says a lot, I feel like, about a program. I mean, for both, like, I feel like that says a lot. And then Joe Flacco, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, Joe Flacco comeback player of the year. I mean, that obviously that he's gone. You know what I mean? It doesn't really equate to this season anymore. But they had a
Flacco was definitely squeezing the ball in his spots, but Watson, like I said, this team will go as far as Watson takes him. He should be the next level. He should be today's NFL quarterback. He should be what we've seen from Deshaun Watson, namely in Houston, in terms of rolling out, getting face masked, and then also kicked in the eyeball, and then still making a 40-yard touchdown throw across his body. We need those plays because that's what the best are doing. Lamar does it, Mahomes does it every time he plays. Josh Allen does it. You need it from your quarterback these days. So skill all around. Deshaun has not looked exactly the same and what we'd hoped for. Maybe he needs to go grab a couple massages, and then we'll see how far the Cleveland Browns will go.
damn it! I was gonna make the massage joke. Damn it! That's
How
so funny.
cool would it be if that AFC Championship game, the one you called, did happen? Not only because you called it, but if it was in Houston and Deshaun had to go back to Houston and play the Texans in the playoffs,
That'd
not
be
even in the championship, just at all. That'd be sick.
wild.
That'd be
That'd be
awesome.
wild.
That'd be that'd
Imagine
be
how they'd be right now with Deshaun. Interesting to think about. They'd be good. They'd still be good.
It'd be good,
I don't
but
know how
I'm gonna
good.
take Stroud.
Yeah, I'm taking Stroud
I'm gonna
too.
take Stroud. Yeah,
But it makes
yeah,
you think, what if he stayed?
yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to go over that whole thing right now because yeah, that could go on and yeah, I could cancel the second episode. Best defensive player playing is it Miles Garrett on the Browns. There's so many good players playing. Man, oh jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna say Miles Garrett. He has the effectiveness of all these great defenders, all the speed, all the crazy athleticism. He has that, but then he's also, 50 pounds heavier than all those guys. He's a
Mm.
fucking giant. He's a freak. Everybody and their mom knows it. He's an absolute freak. Anytime you can carry a team playing defensive end, which he did last year, is bananas. And I expect him to do it again. He'll probably win 3 to 4 games for the Browns this year. Not off a sack, off a fumble, off a block. He's a winner. He's just a winner, and I think that's why he's the best doing it because he wins games. It's nuts to watch.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's hard to disagree with Miles Garrett being the best. Seriously. I would have to say, like, I would have to agree Miles Garrett is probably the best. But who I want to say is the best, Max Crosby.
He's good.
I
don't know about the
I
best.
can't watch a Raiders game and like take my eyes off of Max Crosby, dude.
He reminds me of Russell Westbrook, who's my favorite NBA player ever. You get excited watching him because he's trying so fucking hard.
Yep. Yeah.
Other NFL players look like they're not trying, and you're like, "What are we doing?"
No. He's putting his like life out there on the field. Every play, every single play you watch him and he is the first person off the line on both sides of the ball. He's always first. Like he's faster than the fucking center who knows the fucking snap count. Like I don't know, man. He's the most fun player to watch. I think every time he's like on the field, his presence is commanding. He's blowing runs up. I think he was number one in run stop rate. I could check that really quickly. Yes, he was number one in run stop rate, win rate in the league.
That was very quickly.
Um, I have a couple tabs open up here, but yeah, I mean come on, dude, he's Max Crosby, man. Just like seeing how
He is.
fast he's firing off the line and how he's pumped up. Sometimes you watch a Raiders game and you can hear that motherfucker screaming on the field. You can hear him screaming on the field, like watching the game. And that's just the kind of stuff you love to see. I just love that stuff. You know,
Yeah. Like I said, big Russell Westbrook energy.
yeah.
But I hate the Raiders. Fuck the Raiders.
Oh, I hate the Raiders, but I mean, you know, that's like my probably I'd say my personal favorite, but he's all you could also say he's a contender for the legitimate best defensive player. But in terms of best player, it's got to be Myles Garrett because you're right, he wins games and
Yeah.
he wins.
It's awesome. It's awesome to watch. That's awesome. They're both awesome to watch,
Yeah.
for sure. So let's dip our toes into F1 a little bit, bud.
Ooh, okay.
Max
Max
Verstappen back on
Verstappen.
top. For Robbie,
Yeah.
not looking too
So
bad.
this weekend we had Suzuka. I actually got to play. My buddy Nolan, you know Nolan, but the people might not know Nolan.
Shout
My
out
buddy has
Nolan.
a racing
He's
sim.
an all right guy.
He's an
That's all
okay
you
guy.
can say about him.
He's all right.
That's really all you can say. He's a fucking
No, we love Nolan, but
piece of.
I I
He's stinky. Sorry.
use his racing sim, and because he has a racing sim, I got to use Formula One. You know, I get to meow 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 meow. It's pretty cool. Suzuka is a crazy track. This weekend, it's like a figure eight. Really challenging. So it really you really got to see a lot out of the drivers this weekend. Also, ton of upgrades that came this weekend. Like for every team, just a lot of rear wing changes having to do with the downforce. A lot of them were changing the downforce, like making it a little less. Some were changing it more. Almost every car, not every, but a lot of them did a lot of changes to their floor to increase the load and stuff, to increase load and the just the downforce.
Don't
Sauber
say
had
and stuff.
upgrades. Valtteri
There's
Bottas,
just
like,
hookers here.
huh?
I said, don't say and stuff. Just say there's hookers here. Sorry. You said it, not me.
Sauber had upgrades. They look great. But dude, Sauber, kick Sauber, whatever, dude. They suck. They suck. Like 5-second pit stops every race, and I'm just saying 5 to be generous. Like people who watch it like know that these pit stops, like some of them were like 30 seconds, some of them were like 50. Like I'm pretty sure one of them was so long they were just like retire. I could be wrong though, but like I don't keep
That's
up
not
with
good.
Joe and Valtteri when they're at 20th and 19th place. It's just fucking sad, all right? And Valtteri actually this weekend was doing great. I mean, he was I think he almost got points. I don't think he did though, but he was doing good for a minute. Dude had a lot of overtakes, but just God, they're so bad. They're so bad. And Alpine as well. Alpine had some upgrades this weekend. They just copied Red Bull's front wing. Like they literally just copied Red Bull's front wing. I mean, that's just what every team is eventually going to do over time. Is just slowly carbon print out the Red Bull. You know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just
But Ferrari's still looking good. They're still looking good.
yeah. So we did good, but we're not. I'm not worried about Lewis, but a lot of fans are worried about Lewis for next year because this was his this is his worst start to a Formula One season in his entire career, which is
Or
yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
Mercedes is pooping their pants on the cars,
Yeah,
man.
no, yeah, their car is terrible. But the only problem with that is he's being outdone by George Russell, which is his teammate. Even so, his car is dog shit. It's bad, but it's the worst start to his entire career. 10 points in the drivers' championship in 5 races, just being outdone by George, and didn't look good that Oliver Behrman, an 18-year-old, came in last weekend and finished above Lewis. But like he's in a Ferrari, you know. Lewis is trying to get like the settings right on his new shitty car, and you know George Russell is used to driving shitty cars because he started with Williams. Lewis Hamilton came into Formula One and has like always had a really good car. He's not. I don't think he's used to such a
Well,
thing.
Mercedes was the best when he got with them.
Yeah, and so yeah, but that's been a circulating around. Sergio Perez solidified his spot as a well. Most people think he solidified his spot as the Red Bull #2 driver. Most people don't think he's going to leave next year. I mean, he's right behind Max. There's no
Yeah,
point. There's no point. As much
and he
as
was last year too.
yeah, as much as we would love to see, you know, the drama and new people and new cars and teams switching around. As
There's no
fun
need
as
for
that
it
would
if you're gonna
be,
get. Yeah,
yeah, as fun as that would be, they're just not going to do that. And so I'm pretty sure he has solidified his like himself into his seat. And I mean, it's his seat to lose. Christian Horner said that himself. It is his seat to lose. But one thing I do want to point out is last year, 2023, comparing the times from last year to this year, the one team that had the least improvement was Red Bull, which is great. Which means the rest of the field is slowly packing in. It's slowly getting closer to Max. So that's awesome. That's really, really awesome.
maybe Ferrari will win another race this year.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Whoa,
We got the Lenovo Chinese Grand Prix next. So,
is that this weekend?
that is April 18th. That's not this weekend, but the following.
Ready.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
But yeah, that's all
Well,
I got on F1. I guess I'll just save the Lance Stroll hate. I shouldn't go on a really deep dark rant on Daddy's boy.
well, you can't say that and then not do it. So
I
go.
don't know, man. His dad is a billionaire, so his dad's like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy this, sports team, this sports motorsport
Right.
team, and
Explain it like you're talking to somebody who doesn't know what's going on.
Lance Stroll.
Because, all right, you got it.
Actually, no. Lawrence Stroll, billionaire. He's like, all right, I got $1 billion. I got a little kid that likes driving go-karts. So I'm going to just send this little kid to classes to get good at driving these little go-karts. And I'm going to buy this Aston Martin team. Oh, well, actually, no, he was a little older by then. But, like, that was the plan all along. We're not going to pretend like that wasn't the plan all along. Buys Aston Martin. Hey, son, you come race for daddy now. Son, you don't have a limit to your contract. Son, you can, it doesn't matter how bad you are, you can race with the pros. Okay, Lance Stroll isn't that bad. He can kind of keep up with the other drivers. He's not a terrible god awful driver, but he sucks. He's not that good. And
So he's
he's
in high
daddy's
school
ball.
football.
It's like yeah, it's daddy
He's
ball.
the coach's dad who's the quarterback, even
Yeah.
though there's a better one. Yeah, that's crazy that that's happening at the highest level of racing.
Yeah, and it's not that bad because it's not like he's like just dead last or he's not, you know what I mean? He's still competing, but what makes me upset is that other people deserve that seat way more than him. You know what I mean? And I just you can't even like look up when his contract's gonna. Well, I mean, I haven't seen. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I've never seen an end date on his contract, or I don't know like the details on his contract like that because it's his dad. His dad owns the team. Does he even need to have a written contract? Like, like what? His dad pays everyone. No,
He's not even
my
getting
son is
paid.
driving the car. Thank you. Like,
His dad just gives him money every now and then. He's not even getting paid for being an F1 driver.
no, he's probably just gonna like inherit everything from his
Yeah.
dad. Like,
What are you talking about, son? You work for the family business.
son, you just do whatever you want. You're gonna inherit my billions of dollars anyways when I'm gone, so it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to do anything. You race cars. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, can't if I could do that for my kid, I would. But like, it sucks being a fan and not being able to see like deserving people get a seat because they would have moved if that wasn't his kid. They would have moved on from him a long
Right.
time ago because Fernando
Guys like
Alonso outdoes him
Verstappen
so
and
much. He outdoes him
Leclerc
so
and
bad.
Sergio Perez came from the dirt, Guys like that. Well, came from the dirt, and then you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe or maybe not got involved with Mexican mob problems, but you know, you came from the dirt. We don't need to get into it. You came from the dirt, and you made yourself an F1 driver. Good for you, pal.
Yeah. Well, what about you? You got anything for NBA?
Oh, brother! Do I? The National Basketball Association is heating up. Everybody's got just about 3 to 4 games left on the schedule. My Orlando Magic, like I said at the beginning of the show, have slid into 3rd place in the East. Oh, bangers.
Orlando
Um,
Magic. Orlando.
oh, and we love this 3rd place because that would have us playing the Indiana Pacers, the 6th place Indiana Pacers. Um, and if you're an NBA nut, you know that that's probably the best team to play in the playoffs because they are the worst defensive team making the playoffs. They have the 24th net rated defense in the NBA, by far the lowest out of any team who's going to make the playoffs. The Pacers are 2nd in net offense, though. So they got offense, but no defense, which you really need in the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
It switches like that. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully we keep the Pacers. The Sixers did go without Joel Embiid for 20, 30 games and fell all the way down to 8. Joel Embiid is back. They fought back up to 7. So if they do fight back up to 6, we're gonna have to play healthy Joel Embiid in the first round. That would suck. It's always tough to say the best player alive, but before Joel got hurt, he was probably playing this season the best player alive. So whoever's playing him in the first round is gonna have their hands full. I said last episode that everybody's so high on Boston and everything they can do. I'm worried about their interior defense, and if Philly does fall to one of those bottom slots and they have to guard Joel Embiid inside, they are shocked. They have, Dingus ain't guarding Joel. No, sir. So that'll be very, very interesting to see where Philadelphia lines up. Some other net ratings I have in here. The T-Wolves are, here's defense, 1, 2, 3. Minnesota Timberwolves 1, Boston Celtics 2, Orlando Magic 3. Yeah, so that is my Orlando Magic slated there on 3rd for defensive rating. Offensive rating, Boston is 1. Pacers, like I said, are 2. Clippers are 3. So Boston is 1 on offense and 2 on defense so far this year. Very impressive. So many people are high on them not being stopped, even in the playoffs. But I'm sticking to my guns and saying they're not going to last inside. Sixers, fix your words. The Philadelphia 76ers last night were without Joel Embiid. Tyrese Maxey dropped 50 points in a double overtime win against San Antonio. First career 50 burger for Tyrese Maxey. So Sixers are getting hot at the right time.
Oh, Tyrese Maxey, he had a 50 burger.
50 burger last night.
Didn't he like just have a crazy game the other day too?
Yeah, he was on the All-Star team this year. He's been playing great.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, Tyrese is balling. We'll switch it over to the West. Another young team that surprised everybody and is also a 3 seed, just like the Orlando Magic, is the Oklahoma City Thunder. We talked about them and their MVP, probable MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We'll see what happens. With them falling in the standings, they might give it to Joker, but like I said, those standings are so tight right now with Nuggets and Wolves tied for first and Thunder just one game behind. Like we said, the Celtics are really high up there in both ratings, but in terms of being high up there in both ratings, the Thunder are close with 4th ranked offense and 6th ranked defense. Best combo besides Boston. Like I said, though, I don't really, like I said, the Magic should be good in the first round if we play the Pacers. However, they are my favorite team ever, my favorite franchise ever, because they were my one hometown team. I love them so much. We're not going to make it through these playoffs and to the championship. We're just too young. And same can be said for Oklahoma City. Obviously, if the stars, either Paulo Banchero or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, get super hot, just go on this crazy run at the right time, then yes, they will. But they're just too young, and that rarely ever happens. Even with guys like Giannis, who won it young, he still had to be in the playoffs 4 or 5 times before he could get to the chip. So you just got to do your due diligence in the NBA, and I don't expect those teams to get it this year. But I'll expect both of them to be huge in the veteran free agency market next year.
Mm-hmm.
Get that one championship DNA piece.
You went and
plug them in the locker room.
You went and saw
What's
Wemby,
up?
right? You went and saw Wemby and Joker.
Yes, I did.
How was
I
that?
did. Went and saw Victor Wembanyama in Denver, and that was awesome. He lived up. He's putting on weight. You can tell he's put on weight since he got in the league.
Really?
He's getting stronger. He's huge. He's all the hype. Nobody on Denver can guard him. So you don't expect anybody NBA here to be able to guard him in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just we're all just waiting for Wemby's time. We're all just waiting for him to win fucking 8 MVPs and 8 Defensive Player of the Years and 8 championships in a row. We're all waiting for it to look like the 60s again.
Wemby's world.
Kids 50 years from now are going, Victor Wembanyama, he played against Uber drivers and DoorDash drivers. That's what they're getting. Not actually because they're getting paid millions, but you know what I'm saying. He's going to look so crazy against these guys. He's just going to be unstoppable, barring injury, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But they do suck right now. So San Antonio does have to get their shit together, get some veteran pieces around him, and they could be contending next year because that's how good Wemby is. They could be in championship talks next year if they get some free agents around him. But for the West this year, the Nuggets look great. T-Wolves look great. We talked about them a little bit last episode. We talked about the Mavs last episode, who I'm sticking to my guns with on them as well. Even though they are just the 5 seed, Luka is so good. And Luka has done his due diligence in the playoffs. And they did get a guy who has won a championship in Kyrie Irving. I think they're getting it together. Last night, Kyrie dropped 48 and shot 15 for 25 from the field. So he made a lot more shots than he missed in an NBA game where he dropped 48. That is nuts. Some guy named Luka Doncic also dropped 37, 9, and 12 in that same game.
Jesus.
So, yeah, they are just so good. They got big guys in trades. The West is stacked. I heard JJ Redick, I think, talking about it the other day. The NBA is really almost the best we've ever seen it. It's a great time to be an NBA fan. Very competitive. And playoffs start in just 2 weeks. So it's going to be sick. And We'll see how my Orlando Magic do, huh?
Playoff in 2 weeks is crazy.
Drafts, NBA playoffs are right there. NHL playoffs are right there. This is awesome, man. What a time
Wow.
to be alive.
Yeah. Great time to be a sports fan.
Yes, sir. All right.
Yes.
Well, have
That's
you got
all I
anything
got.
else, Sharks? All right. That has been Sharks,
See ya.
and this has been Teej. You got it right this time.
Yes, sir. Howdy.